Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of Game Poke, the show where we cover gaming related topics and talk a load of old bollocks. And if you enjoy it, you click subscribe. Maybe.
Okay.
Today's topic is one that many people seem to have voted for, even though I never had a thing where you could vote for it. Everyone just seemed to want me to cover the thing. So we're going to cover it, and it's the Wonderboy games. Now, I'll be honest with you right now, okay? I haven't completed every single one, and I've played all but one, even though I own it. So, when you find out what that game is, feel free to call me a cunt in the comments, because it's gonna happen, innit? Can't be avoided. And the first of them games, of course, self-titled Wonderboy on the Master System. Greatest console in the world, don't argue with me. This game was one of the first games I ever played in my life. It was of the 9 games that I had when I was a kid. It was one of them ones. And, well, to be honest, out of them 9 games, it was also kind of the most repetitive. It's not bad, though. It doesn't make it bad, but it does get dull. I've only completed the game once because it's repetitive, and 2, it's fucking long. I mean, it's really long. You wouldn't expect it to be as long as it is. Although, to be honest, maybe it just feels that long because it's repetitive. You play the part of this little blonde-haired prick whose girlfriend's been stolen by a weird monster fuck who keeps changing his heads every time you beat him as a boss. Why does he do this? Why does he replace his head with that of another animal every time you cut his head off? The answer is, dunno. The mechanics of the game are really weird. Instead of having a typical health bar, you've got like a food bar, a hunger bar. You have to keep collecting food, which is fine. In a game like this, you like getting collectibles. It's like Sonic with rings or Mario with coins, and Wonderboy, it's food. Fine, to be honest, I kind of like the fact that instead of just coin, 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 or ring, 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 it's different. Bananas, strawberries, apples, shit like that. It's different, so it's cool. Instead of jumping on enemies like you do in typical platformers, you get to throw hammers at your enemies. Normally, an arch-throwing weapon, one that gets thrown in an arch sort of shape, that's normally a pain in the arse in video games. Normally. Here, it's not so bad. It works kind of well, because it's more straight than it is up in the air and then down. It's bearable. The monsters are... well, some of them are imaginative, and some of them are just animals, like fucking snails and shit. I think the most fun to be had in this game is when you get on the skateboard, but the problem is you can't stop the skateboard. You can either slow it down or go fast as fuck. Anyway, we got a lot of Wonderboys to cover, so I can't spend too long on this one. It's a great game. I love it to death because nostalgia. Is it one I recommend that you play? Yeah. And if you don't fancy playing that one, well then good news, because before I go on to what you would expect, aka Wonderboy 2, I'm going to quickly cover the remake of Wonderboy 1. This game is really awesome, it's great fun, it's very colourful, but unfortunately in recreating the original game, they have recreated that repeaty? Yeah. If you can get it cheap, try it. It's a good game. And now, Wonderboy in Monsterland. And this is, of course, where Monsterland, the name, really comes into it. Although, I think it was used in the story of the first game, but, you know, you'd have had to read the booklet and given a fuck. Whereas here, it's just in the title, so that makes that easier. This game is nothing like the first Wonderboy. Now, a quick little history thing that I'm just going to cover very quick because die-hard fans will know this. Wonderboy had what I like to call a rip-off version on the Nintendo. That game was called Adventure Island. It's essentially Wonderboy, but Nintendo didn't have rights to the Wonderboy name, but they did manage to purchase rights to the gameplay, so they made this fucking abomination. Yes, I know, Nintendo fans out there love this game, and it's not bad, it isn't. Colour scheme-wise, I think it's ugly compared to Wonderboy. It's got a lot of puke greens and shit browns, but that's just, you know, a lot of NES games like that. Anyway, reason why I had to cover that quickly is the Adventure Island games kept the style of Wonderboy 1. They kept the style of Adventure Island 1. It just kept doing that shit. Wonderboy kept changing. and each time it did it for the better. And for Wonderboy in Monsterland, it did a fucking fantastic job. It made it more RPG-ish, not too RPG-ish, alright? It kind of went action RPG-ish. The funny thing is, this is one of the Wonderboy games I haven't completed, and that's because it's not as straightforward as the other ones. You need to know a lot of the secrets, you need to get the knack for certain things, but the funny thing is, although I struggle with this one more than any of the others for some reason, it's not the hardest Wonderboy, it's not, but I still can't fucking do it, so it's the hardest for me, I guess. And the great thing is, we've done away with the hammer, now you got a fucking sword. Wonderboy looks more chibi-ish. His eyes are sort of Tintin in style, they're black dots. You can get new weapons, you can get new power-ups, you collect money, so the whole fruit system is out the window. Never mind. All in all, this is a fantastic game. It really is. I can't say much more about it because I haven't beaten it. The levels are incredibly creative, the music is still awesome in that brilliant Master System style, but this game, as good as it is merely a stepping stone to what is, in my opinion, the greatest Wonderboy game there is. And no, I'm not leaving it till last because numerically that would make things confusing in terms of Wonderboy games, so we're just going to move straight on to Wonderboy 3, The Dragon's Trap. First of all, fucking password system. Yay! I can come back to it. It's not a case of do level 1 1,068 fucking times. Although I won't lie, the password, it's a little bit long. It's a little bit long, but never mind. The game does a weird thing. It continues off from the end of Wonderboy in Monsterland. So where what is essentially Wonderboy 2 left off, Wonderboy 3 continues from straight away by throwing you against the end boss of Wonderboy 2. Obviously, it's been made easy. You're powered up to fuck. So it's not a challenge. It isn't. It's just a story thing, which is great. Again, more pushing towards RPG style because of the story. There's a lot more story in this one. Now, I won't go into the story too much because I don't want to ruin it. I want you to try this game. I really do, and I'll tell you how to in a minute. Best thing about this game in terms of gameplay, though, you don't stay as Wonderboy, technically. You get turned into a fucking dragon. You also get turned into other things. Bird, mouse, yeah. But with each new creature that you turn into, you get new abilities, which is really cool. You can still buy armor, shield, swords and that, but while you are like in the dragon form, you're not holding sword. When you're in mouse form, you are, so I guess some visuals are a little weird like that, but it's, you tend not to give a shit because the game's too much fun to give a shit. It's one of them games where you go back and forth through places. You'll get to one area and you'll think, how the fuck do I get past this? How do I do this? And it'll turn out you just can't do it in your current form. Like there's some places you can't get to as dragon, but you can as mouse. So you've got to unlock mouse. You don't just start off, yeah, I can be dragon mouse, blah, 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 blah. No, you got to go out there and find them abilities. You've got to kill the certain bosses to get the abilities. And at the end of the game, if you manage to defeat the end boss, become human again. That's the goal of the game. Visually, awesome. Musically, awesome. Gameplay, well, it's just the tits. I mean, as I just said earlier, this is the best game in the Wonderboy series as far as I give a fuck. Now you may be thinking, well, I can't play that because I don't have a Master System. Well, fuck you! You've got no excuse because the game's been remade on PS4, Switch, and maybe that other one, Eggbox, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't care, I don't collect for that system. The remake to Wonderboy 3, The Dragon's Trap, is fantastic. It's such a beautiful game. And you have the ability to, on the fly, switch it to Master System visuals. Or, if you don't want that, but you miss the old Master System music style, if you want that bit of nostalgia, you can just change the music and keep the graphics of the remake. The game is awesome. I bought it on PS4, completed it, loved it. Then it came out on the Switch. It was like, oh, you bastards, to have that game portable and the ability to take it around with me. Yeah, I bought it again. I'm a sucker. I know I am. But it had to be done. Wonderboy 3, Dragon's Trap. If you don't play any Wonderboy games in your life, just try and play this one. Hey, come on. Why not? Now, things get a bit confusing because the next game, isn't a Master System one, it's a Mega Drive one, and it's called Monster Layer Wonderboy 3. We've just had Wonderboy 3. So, don't think they named that one right. I will say, out of all the Wonderboy games, this one is a bit weird. It's part shmup. The Wonderboy games were going in an RPG direction, and then we get shmup. I like shmups. I hate the name shmup, but when I say shooter these days, people think I mean Call of fucking Duty. Bang bang. Anyway, yeah, it just kind of went off course with this game. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they did this. It is not a bad game. It is not. It's just one that I find very strange and out of place. If you can get it cheap, it's worth trying. But to be honest, out of all the Wonderboy games today, this is the one you could probably skip just because it doesn't seem to fit. It just doesn't. But honestly, what are your opinions on this game? I really want to know, because like I said, this one seems strangely placed to me. So, do you agree? Do you think it's the oddball? It's not bad, but it is the oddball in my opinion. Do you agree, or do you think I'm talking shit? Without further ado, because I don't want to seem like I'm slagging it off, we'll move on to the next game. And the next game will confuse you. Now, just quickly, let's point out the second game quickly. All right, see that? All right. Wonderboy in Monster Land. The name of it. It's not Wonderboy 2, technically. Wonderboy in Monster Land. The next game we're going to talk about is Wonderboy in Monster World. Why do they have to name it like that? It's fucking confusing. I can't tell you how many times I've said world when I meant land, or land when I meant world. But anyway, aside from the dappiness level there when it comes to the naming, this game, I love this one. I've done a Let's Play to this one. If you're interested, link in the description. It's an old Let's Play, but I'll tell you something. That was one of them times when the game was not requested. It was not one someone said, please play this. I was having a bit of a shitty time. I don't remember why, but I do remember feeling down and fucked off. And I came on the camera saying, look, I feel down and fucked off. I'm having a bad time. I'm going to do this as a Let's Play today. Hopefully it'll cheer me up. It did. This game got me in a good mood out of being in a real shitty downer. And the really funny thing is that once the Let's Play ended, I turned everything off, thought, fuck the editing, I'll go back to the editing. I thought, I'm going to complete this game. And I did. I sat down that Saturday or Sunday, whatever it was just a weekend, and I wrote down one password, which was the one from me being up here in the recording area to going downstairs, and that was it. I played it from that point all the way to the end. Didn't turn it off once, didn't write down another password, which was stupid, because if something had gone wrong, I'd have flipped my fucking shit. But the game just sucked me in. I was having so much fun. The weird thing is, this game's got a fucking ocarina in it. And I remember during the Let's Play, I was like, an ocarina? Wait, hang on, this is Master System, so which had an ocarina in it first? Was it Wonderboy in Monster World, or was it a Zelda game? I'm like, I don't know now. I don't know. I don't know. I think the first Zelda game to actually have an ocarina in it was A Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. I think, because in other Zelda games it was a flute or some shit. Wonderboy in Monster World seems to have skipped what the Dragon's Trap was. It seems to have gone and focused more on Monster Land. Now, I know this is getting confusing. Basically, this game was copying the style of this game. That's essentially what it was doing, which is fine. It had taken everything that Wonderboy 2 had and improved upon it. Just ironed it out, made it better. And no, I'm not saying that because I've completed this one and I haven't Wonderboy 2. I'm determined to one day do Wonderboy 2. It's just the fact that this game is smoother. It is more fun when you kill shit. Everything about the game is just more fun. It's very well ironed out. And the best part is, the best part. For many of you, anyway. There's a Mega Drive version. Which is the same fucking game. This is this. It's just, instead of 8-bit, 16-bit. I know I said the 8-bit one was well polished, but of course the 16-bit one is even more so. This is a fucking great game. It's one of the ones I urge you to try. I don't know how much the cartridge costs. I don't. I think you can play it on the Mega Drive Classics, which is on the Switch and the PS4. Although having said that, I know the Switch has got a slightly different library to the PS4 one, so you'd have to check that out. But this is a great game. Well worth trying. Definitely. Music, gameplay, graphics, fun. It's awesome. Next is one that I don't have a physical version for, and that's because it only came out in Japan. And there's a lot of text in the game. So this is one of them games where, you know, you could import it and play it, but I wouldn't, because you really can't play it unless you know off by heart what the fuck the people are saying in the game, because it's in spaghetti language. But thanks to the glory of the Mega Drive Mini, or Mega Drive Classic, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's on there. And it's translated. And I know you're confused, because I said Monster World, and not Wonderboy. This is where the Monster World and the Wonderboy franchises sort of, like, they go along and then they just go psh, sort of split off different streams. It's confusing. Just take my word for it. This is the next game in the Wonderboy series. But it ain't Wonderboy, because it's a girl. But out of all of these retro games, this is the best looking one. Is it the best playing one? That's tough. Because to compare it to Dragon's Trap, it's like, very, I mean, you've only got to look at it to know that it's awesome. This is one of them ones I haven't completed, I'll admit it. Only because, you know, if I had the cartridge, I know I would have completed it, but because it's on the Mega Drive Mini, I don't play that as much because it doesn't feel like authentic hardware. That's just me. I love the Mega Drive Mini, I think it's a great thing. I mean, for fuck's sake, it gave us Mega Man Wily Wars without having to break the bank. So that's fantastic straight away. And having this is another cherry on top for that console, because it's just accessibility to something, and they've gone to the effort of translation. That's a big thing. It just is. It's a spectacular looking game, and the sound is just... I'd like to say I don't know why people don't rate the music in this one higher in Mega Drive top 10 soundtracks or some shit. But it's obvious why they don't. It's because it was only released in Japan back in the day, which is fucking handy, innit? Why? Why was it only released in Japan? I honestly don't know the answer to that one. If anyone knows, please put in the comments, because I'm clueless. Now, I haven't got very far in this game just because of the reasons I said, but I have gone quite far in the game I'm playing right now in my free time, the remake. Yes, I have the remake on the Switch, and it is awesome. But I also feel it would be unfair to talk too much about that game, because I haven't completed it yet. So for all I know, it could go tremendously crap at the end. I really hope it doesn't. The art style of the game and the general way that they've presented it and put it out there for us, truly stunning, very well done. I'm loving the game. Funny thing is, I've just spent fucking ages in... I won't say, in case you haven't played the game, but here's a clue in case you have. A place where there's a lot of pipes and you get pushed around a lot. Oh my god, I've gone round in so many fucking circles looking for a cunting bucket! But anyway, that's enough said about that. If you want to try a Wonderboy / Monster World game in a modern way, that's another good one. I would still say Dragon's Trap is better than that. The remake of Dragon's Trap is better than the remake of Monster World 4. The names. It's the style, the gameplay. It is. But this is still a great game. Still worth trying. It's just that Dragon's Trap is better. Next is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. And this is the game that I said I've had in my possession for quite a while. I got the Switch version. Had it quite a while. Yeah, have. Never played it. And I don't have an excuse other than the fact that my game backlog of things I need to play is it's big, and for some reason this one has just not made it to the front of the line yet. So I know you're going to be disappointed with me because I can't talk about it in the video, but I'm not going to lie. Right? I'm not going to quickly rush and play 10 minutes of the fucking game just so I can talk about it in the video and give an opinion that sounds detailed but is actually bullshit because I haven't played the fucking game. I'm just going to be honest. I haven't played it. I know I'm a dick. I know I need to play it. Maybe one day someone will kick my ass and say, alright, now you got to do a Let's Play. But, yeah, I haven't played this one, so I can't talk about it. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the Wonderboy games. Except for any handheld versions, because I'm just going to give that a miss, alright? Just going to give it a miss. Because I know there's Game Gear and... yeah, we're going to give that a miss. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Game Poke. Please click like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you don't do the other two, I'd like you to do that one at least. Thank you. What did you think of the talk about Wonderboy? Do you agree with my opinion on some of the games? Do you think I'm a cunt for not having played that last one? And have you had a chance to play some of the remakes? Well, there's 2 remakes, isn't there? Because the last one is a new thing. Talking shit, Tom. Anyway, that's enough of that shit. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.